Well, this is an area I've been coming to for a few years, and I just wanted to take some time to document it, just in case it would ever not be here, which I don't really anticipate, but I just want to show all the cool stuff here. This one right here, this asterisk or star, was here a few years ago, but up around it has grown all this stuff. And as you can, I think you can hear that it's just right by a highway, and we are in the Duluth area, the Cloquet area, Saginaw area, Saginaw Township. And I'm just going to walk around and try to show the different things that until I started seeing the Utah Sasquatch videos, well, I would see these tree leans, and I thought there was something to them, but I didn't know what to call them, and I guess it took the validation of somebody else seeing something in them to make me believe in them. But like this one here, I mean, I always kind of thought they were like tools, like they had been there. The Sasquatch were putting their tools away after a night of work or something. I don't know if that's it. I don't know what it is, but in this area, which isn't very big, it's, I don't know. You could fit a football field in here, and I guess that with the stands, it would be about right. It's not very big, and it's right off the highway, and it's just, to me, it's a really unlikely place, but I think it's well, you can guess what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe all these trees are here by coincidence, falling like this, but I just don't think so. It kind of happened gradually over, I suppose, the last 3 years. I found this a couple years ago. I don't know if this video can do it justice, but it's kind of like a I don't know. There's a bunch of trees forming a circle, and I guess you could conjecture what it is, but I'm going to say it's a playpen. And there's a whole bunch of those around this area. And over here, if I could walk over and approach this, this has always been here since I've been coming here. And I have brought people here to see this. And of course they say it's not anything, but I think it is something. They say kids could do this or would do it. And there is a sort of a makeshift campground across the way, but it's not very highly used. I mean, there's hardly ever anyone there. And I took some time a while back to look at this. And you can't probably tell through this, but you know, the big stick up there to the left up here, how it stays there, there's hardly any pressure on it. I think it's all constructed by pressure. And you see the big trifork up here. I think it starts with that. And this stick here is bent from down, and the pressure starts down here, and it's curved up around this, and it's forced around this tree, and that's where that's the majority of what this is all about, and it's just by pressure. And this here really is just sitting there. There's hardly no weight on it, I think. And what these are here for, I don't know. I've seen them other places, and in Rios and they're pretty prevalent, and but they're cool when you do find them. Not that they're rare, but to me they are rare. And I'll quickly walk up here. And I've been coming up here to this area for several years. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff on the ground. I don't know what that all is, but here's an X, sort of. They're not touching, but lots of tree leaves. And I'm guessing that you can't really catch the wonder of this place by video, but it's the best I can do. And that these are just all over the place. Tree lanes. I do look for tracks, but I haven't been able to find really any tracks or indentations. To me, this is an X here too, an asterisk. And all over around here are scattered, well, it's mostly tree leans, and maybe they're called wallows, or we all would call them wallows. But I call them, maybe they're playpens. I'm wondering if these tree limbs, I wonder if fingerprints could be taken off them. Do Bigfoot leave fingerprints? I don't know. Well, here's another one where you maybe it looks like just a jumble of trees on the, but actually it's kind of a, there's triangles, it looks like there's a reason to it, reason for the season in this, and that maybe it could be a playpen or an enclosure of some sort. And with this, on the one side is the highway, on the other side is a little creek, and there's a swamp, and I've been back in there, and there's a little hill, really cool hill with a lot more of these type downed trees and tree leans. I've left recorders, and I haven't really ever caught anything here. And that's an X up there that could be coincidental, I don't know. And this is the other side of that last one, which probably isn't anything new to anybody watching this. But as I said, I just want to kind of record that this place is here, because it is pretty magnificent when you see it, or when you just experience it. And it might just look like the woods, like a normal nothing going on woods, but actually the tree leaves are what make it so incredible in my estimation. Like these two here. They're worked. The wood is kind of like worked. It's got, like somebody's done work with it up and down, and then they were both set the same way at the end of the day, looking the same way. I have no idea. I kind of think it's a playground of some sort, and they have it. The Bigfoot have it figured out that those cars don't mean anything. That people won't stop. and that they can survive here. There's a nice river, a nice, almost inaccessible spot on the other side. And I almost feel like I shouldn't be here, to tell you the truth. Like I shouldn't disturb it. And for long periods of time I don't. All winter I don't. But it's cool to come back. And it's cool to think that maybe the next time you'll see or hear something, or you'll meet someone, and you will know more than you knew before you came here. To me, this thing here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's incredible. It's jammed up between, and that's another thing with the so-called Sasquatch construction, is you'll see that like those two trees right here are being used. These two trees. So you wedge between those using force, using pressure, and that's how you get your strength out of your structure. And I wonder, I Googled it, I wonder if teepees were made that way, or made with counter pressure, and I wonder if that is, maybe that's where, I was going to say that's where the Bigfoot learned it, but maybe that's where Native Americans learned it from the Bigfoot. If they exist. And again, this is just another way looking back into there, which is, as I see through the viewfinder, it's just a jumble of woods, but it's really more than that. I believe it is. And I don't know if it's important that we find out. It's important to me just to be here periodically, to go looking. I would like to see one. Of course anybody would, but do I want them to be discovered? I don't know. I kind of like it the way it is now, where we don't know, but we do know. And it is admittedly kind of cool to think you're in some kind of in-group that knows the truth and others don't, but then you still want to pass on that truth. You want the others to understand, and you want to pass on what you have, but then when you try and do that, maybe it doesn't work out so good. But anyway, this is, don't have a name for it, but this is in the Saginaw area, in the Duluth area, in the Cloquet area, kind of northern Minnesota, not real northern. We're south of Virginia. And I think I'll just scan the area. I've tried to take this to zoom in and see faces and all that stuff, which works pretty good if you have a spot where you can zoom way across, but then if you don't, the autofocus focuses on something that's not where you want to be. And I haven't quite figured that out yet. And so what I do usually is I take a recorder and I put it in a baggie and set it out, like with lithium batteries, set it out for a few days, and then I don't use Audacity like some folks do. I just listen to them almost every second. I do fast forward to the good parts, like 10 in the morning, 10 at night till dawn, and it's fun to me to just listen and to think that any moment you'll be able to hear something pretty cool. Usually you don't, sometimes you do. But even just the listening, even if you don't hear anything, It's a fun activity, more fun than the Price is Right or some nightly news. Anyway, thank you, and as MK would say, I thank you for your time.